What is going on, guys? AJ Good here at the House of Masks, and today's video is finally a mask related video. It has been a while since I've done a strictly mask related video. I have been extremely busy. Not only is it the holiday season, but like you guys know, I also just got a house, so I am trying to put forth as much effort and money into the house as I possibly can so that I can live comfortably. With that being said, I do plan on making a lot of non-mask related videos this year, so be prepared for that. If it's not something that you're into, then I'm sorry, but you could just not watch the videos. But I do plan on getting out there this year. I plan on traveling, visiting a lot of friends, doing a lot of moto related shit, so just be prepared for that. I do apologize if that's not what you're into, but there's going to be mask videos, I can assure you of that. So, on to today's video. Not only am I going to be doing an unboxing and a review, I'm also going to be slightly converting this mask, and by that I mean I'm giving it a repaint to make it a different version than what it is. Without further ado, let's get into it. I got this mask in a trade secondhand from Sean Buchanan, so let's go ahead and open it up. Now obviously you guys know what it is from the thumbnail and the title and what it's going to become, so we don't have to keep that a secret, keep your guessing. We are definitely doing a 0.5 Corey, and this is a Faceless Studios version. So all of the ones that I have at the moment are from Sam Hain Studios, but I got a good deal on this, and I figured once I repaint it, you're really not gonna be able to tell anyways. I don't believe that this is the most accurate version, but it's definitely up there, and by all means, it is a solid mask. Like I said, Faceless Studios. I can't recommend buying from him because as of late, all I've heard is bad things. So like I said, this was secondhand. If you guys wanna chance it, just make sure that you use PayPal the correct way. Do not ever send friends and family unless you are best fucking friends or family with the person that you're sending money to. So I'll give you guys a nice close-up of this mask, and then we will get to painting. Alright, so as you guys can see, it is a decent mask. Like I said before, definitely not the most accurate, but for the version that we're going for, I don't think I'll have an issue with anything. The first thing that we need to do is cut out the lip and cut out the eyes a little larger on the top because we are going for this Panda version, which obviously has the mouth cut out a little bit more at the bottom and has a little bit wider eye holes. And once we're done cutting it, we're gonna get on to the painting, which is a very sloppy paint job, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna have to rush through it. We do need to take our time and try to make this as accurate as possible. So let's begin with the cutting. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is obviously look at reference. I'm gonna go directly off of this video because it will be consistent. I can see the mask at pretty much any angle that I want while he's talking, and I don't have to worry about it being at different shows or whatever. So we're gonna take a pin, and nothing is permanent, so if you fuck this up, you can just wash it off and start again. And we're gonna take a pin and start mapping out how the cut is gonna go, and just try to get it as close to what you see as possible. Like I said, nothing is permanent, so there's no reason that you should fuck this up. And I do it almost like a sketch because then you can go back in and define exactly where you want it to be. So it looks like it's a little wider on this side, and then it kind of tapers up and then falls back down a little bit and then tapers up. All right, so now that we have the cuts done on the lip, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the eyes. Once again, all we are doing is studying reference, and this is kind of perfect because he's just holding the mask. It's not on his face. We can just cut it the way that it looks there. So I'm just going to study this reference. Like I've said, probably 4 times already. You can't fuck this up. Like, literally just make the correct lines, and if you don't, you can erase them and try again. And like I said, I use the sketching technique. I think I've adopted this technique from tattooing, because when you are sharpieing on a freehand piece, you kind of sketch it out, and then you go in with another color and bolden it up, and then you go in with another color and bolden it up, and eventually you'll have the perfect lines and you won't have to worry about it. Okay, so once you're happy with all your lines, you're going to take a pair of scissors. I use these smaller ones because it's a little easier to get into tighter areas, but they make even smaller ones that are nice. I just don't have a set, and you can go in and cut out your lines. But like I said, please make sure that you're happy with your lines and that they are accurate, because you don't want to just go and ruin a mask because you're impatient. Alright, so now that the cutting is complete on both the mouth and the eyes, we can go ahead and start on paint. I'm going to use acrylic paint because it's going to stay on the mask longer and better, and it's not going to yellow like actual face paint does. I've done this type of stuff before and used actual face paint, and it's like nice high-end face paint that they would probably use, maybe have used before, and it seems to yellow over time, especially years. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with this. You can get pretty much the same effect. If you want to go ahead and use face paint, you can, but just be warned that it's probably going to yellow. We're going to start off with this white, and I'm going to use a sponge brush to apply it because I like the texture that it gives, and you can cover a lot of ground and you won't get streaks or anything. So yeah, let's go ahead and start on the white. Obviously it's a super messy paint job, so you don't need to worry about marking anything off or anything. Corey literally just did this backstage out of boredom. Nothing fancy. We're just gonna slap this on. This is just a base coat with the white, and as you can tell by the reference photos, it's covered. So we're just slapping it on there. Nothing fancy. Don't really need to worry about anything. Just get a nice coverage on there. We'll go back in after this base coat, tighten everything that needs tightened up, and then we'll start on the black. Another option aside from this sponge brush is using your fingers, which is probably what Corey did backstage with the face paint. Alright, so we have our white bases done now. We're going to let that dry. It's a little tacky at the moment, and once that dries, we can go back in with the black and start laying in all of this messy mess of messiness. Okay, everything seems to be nice and decently dried now, so we're going to go ahead and go in with the black. I've got two different brushes here. One is a really thick, kind of shitty, like fat brush, and the other one's a really nice, tight, clean one, so they're going to come in handy for different things. Alright, moving right along to the under mask here, we're going to go ahead and do the neck area first. You guys can do this in whatever order you want to if you're even doing this and watching this video, but I doubt it. I'm just trying to spread out this black as much as possible. I'm just giving it like a translucent, watery look because the face paint that they use, I'm almost positive it's water activated shit. It's the same stuff that I use. And if you're looking for a good water activated face paint, I would recommend Paradise face paint. I've been using their stuff since I got my look and my mask, and I really like it. So yes, that's just a tip from me. But anyways, trying to spread this stuff out thin so that it almost looks like it was just wiped on there with a finger, because that is obviously the goal here. Go over the white a little bit, almost like a dry brushing effect. There's almost no paint on your brush, and you're relying on a little bit of pressure and some random pushing to kind of coat that white. Moving on to the mouth area. Alright guys, so we are pretty much done. I went in and did all of the black on this with the large brush except for this little area right here. And as you guys can see, I used a fine tip brush to really get in there. For whatever reason, it seems that there's two lines right here on Corey's mask. So I don't know if they actually did go in with like a brush and paint this or what, or if it just ended up looking like that. But yeah, it's all about details, so I've got little stuff in there like that, and I think that we are finished. So what I'm gonna do is throw this back on the styrofoam head and then show it to you guys up close all around, and we're gonna call it a day. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you later.